Okay, so we got breaking news from the Houston Texans in terms of their wide receiver Will Fuller. He is suspended for 6 games for PED use, and he will miss the remainder of the 20. He will miss the remainder of the season and the 2021 home opener. And this was written around the NFL. Um, I think this is going to be a huge effect on the Texans. I mean, this was after DeAndre Hopkins left, you know, he was basically the only other wide receiver that was a quality one. And Mario, man, I want to hear what you think, man, because this is the big deal.
Yeah, so for Will Fuller, I mean, he's had a big impact on this team. He has 879 yards on 53 receptions. He averages 16.6 yards per catch. His long this year has been 37 yards, and he's at 8 TDs. So he's obviously one of the most productive wide receivers in the game. And with that being said, that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important that he's not going to be there for the remainder of the season, plus the season opener. I feel so bad for Deshaun Watson because it makes his life so much harder. It makes the offensive line's job so much harder. But
Right.
now, what do I always say? It's next man up. That's not the fact. It's the next man up. And the next man up is probably Brandon Cooks. So now it's up to Brandon Cooks to become that number one wide receiver that Deshaun Watson so desperately needs and deserves. And with that being said, I mean, Will Fuller, according to him, I got news that it was supposed to be he was prescribed something, and I guess the NFL just didn't approve of it. But honestly, Will Fuller, it's tough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it annoys me so much, man. How much like even off the field things. It annoys me so much on how the medication that they take that they just don't know that they just don't approve that they just don't get it approved by the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. The doctors know, and I blame the doctors too. If he did get prescribed something by a doctor, the doctor should know that you're an NFL player. You need to get that information so you know what type of medication you can give your patient if they're an NFL player. Because if you're a movie star, you can take all the steroids you like. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to affect your job most likely, unless you get caught. Maybe it will. But in sports, that's considered cheating. And when the doctors don't do their job correctly, that's a problem. I think Will Fuller, honestly, if that's the case, then I wish him the best of luck. But again, that's his mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, either way, I wish him the best of luck, whether it was
Right.
his fault or not.
Absolutely.
But
This is possible.
and this is and you can vouch for me on this. I said the same thing with Robinson Cano when he got caught back in 2018 about the whole. It was the same exact reason with the medicine thing. You know, you gotta look into these rules because especially sports like MLB, NFL, they have these. Every sport has their thing when it comes to drugs, whether it be with marijuana or steroids or whatever these days. I don't know. You can look into that for me. I think, and this is something that I'm looking into, given that I want to go big with baseball. You know, I'm looking into all these rule books. I take medication. I have ADHD and I have insomnia, so I have to take medication. But the problem is, if I take that medication while I'm in the pros, say I do go to the pros, and there's something in that medication that I can't take, and I get suspended for that. You know what I mean? I feel like these players, if that's the case, it's on both sides. The player has to look into the rules of when it comes to the drugs, what's banned and what's not. But the doctor also has to consider the fact that you're an NFL player. There are certain things that are illegal. There are certain things that are legal. And what he gave him was illegal. I personally fault both sides if this is the case because, like I said, you got to look into the rule book. You're taking a medication that's benefiting your health. You got to look into what's in that stuff because you take it and then you get tested and you go for a drug test. They're going to say, oh, yeah, you were taking PEDs. This was in it. Yeah, it's considered a PED. In the same situation with the doctor, if they know what's at risk for them when it comes to these drugs and these medicines, they gotta be like, all right, we have to have an alternate solution for this. But
Right.
nonetheless, I wish them both the best of luck. Obviously, I blame both sides for this. If that's really if the medicine situation really is the case, which I mean, according to him, we gotta go by that because that's all we know at the moment. But I mean, of course, I wish him the best of luck, and I just hope this gets resolved.
Right. Absolutely. And the other thing that you also got to like realize is that even if it was approved by the NFL, I expect him to go for an appeal, but that's really hard to appeal if it's in the rule books and it's not. But here's what you need to do: if there's some type of medication you need to take, before you take it, ask your doctor and then ask the medical assistant for the team. The medical assistant for the team should have those answers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They should not a personal medical person. No, that's not. Sometimes that just don't work. You need to ask the medical professional on your team. Hey, look, I need to take a medicine for whatever it is. Is this medicine okay for me to take? Because I don't want to be tested positive for something that I didn't do, if that's the case. So you got to take those extra measures. This is okay? Nobody's going to do it for you. You need to take these extra measures. You need to go ask that medical professional on your team, plus the medical professional as your doctor. It's as simple as that. Then you take it, and then if something happened, then you fight. He's probably going to fight it anyway. But the problem is, this is a very tough thing to fight. Because if it's in the NFL rule book, then it's a really tough thing to fight. But honestly, like Will Fuller, he's part to blame. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of fantasy football users are really going to be upset. A lot of fantasy people are really going to be upset. And so, but guess what? Too bad. He shouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he should have looked into it more. But I mean, best of luck to Will Fuller. I mean, he is a great player. You hate to see it. You don't want to see his career get wasted like that. Best of luck to the Texans, and we'll see where this goes from here.
Yeah, I wish him the best of luck, man.